Welcome to a brief overview of how the screen printing process works, presented by Rionet and SilkScreeningSupplies.com. Keep in mind that this is just a brief overview and doesn't cover all the variables that often come up during the screen printing process. For more information about the screen printing process, visit our website at www.silkscreeningsupplies.com. We carry a wide selection of training DVDs and books. In addition, all of our press packages we sell include an in-depth instructional DVD about screen printing. The first step in the screen printing process is artwork creation. If you have a multiple color image you want to use, then you need to separate the image into layers so it can transpose to different colors on the printing press. You can do this in different artwork programs such as CorelDRAW, Photoshop, or Illustrator. If you're creating a new image for a print, you must consider the image itself and how you'd like the layers to be separated. Here, we see Ryan create a two-layer and a single-layer image. Each layer must be printed separately once the artwork is done, for exposure on separate screens later. Once the artwork is created, it must be printed onto film positives, otherwise known as transparencies. There are lots of options on the market for printing on transparencies, and lots of methods for getting the best and darkest prints possible. We recommend Epson printers with the RIP software. For more information on outputting to film positives, visit our Films and Output Printers page on SilkScreeningSupplies.com. Next up in the screen printing process is screen preparation and exposure. Screens come with either wood or metal frames. The mesh of the screen material varies depending on the type of job you are doing. Before you can coat and expose a screen, you must degrease the screen. This is a critical step in the process as it cleans all the contaminants off the screen so the emulsion will properly bond to the screen. For degreasing, you must use a screen printing specific degreaser. First, get the screen wet and then apply the degreaser product. Once the screen is sprayed with degreaser, you want to scrub both sides of the screen to thoroughly work the degreaser into the screen and then rinse all the degreaser out of the screen. Once completely rinsed out, place the screen in front of a fan or into your drying rack to allow the screen to completely dry. After degreasing, we move to coating the screen with emulsion. Emulsion is UV ray sensitive, so coating should always be done inside a darkroom, taking special care not to prematurely expose your screen. Add the emulsion into your scoop coater and then apply the emulsion to the screen. Apply emulsion to the flat side of the screen first, the inside of the screen next. Most emulsion coating only needs one pass from the scoop coater per side. Once the screen is coated, allow it to dry in your drying rack. Once your screen is coated with emulsion and dried, it is time to expose your artwork onto the screen. Lay your artwork transparency onto the flat side of the screen. Remember to flip over your artwork so it will print correctly onto the shirt. When the artwork is correctly aligned onto the screen, it's time to expose the screen. There are many types of exposure units on the market. Today, Ryan is using an automated UV exposure unit manufactured by Ryonet and available from our website. This unit is very effective and comes with a timer for convenience and highly accurate exposure times. Place your screen with the artwork taped onto it, face down, and exposed for the appropriate amount of time for your particular screen. Now that the screen has been properly exposed, you must take the screen and wash out the emulsion. Get the exposed screen wet on both sides. Allow the water to sit on the screen for at least 30 seconds to break down the unexposed emulsion. Once the screen has been allowed to sit, starting with the flat side of the screen, spray out the screen, washing out all the emulsion on both sides, leaving the image burned into the screen. After the screen is washed out, dab with newsprint and allow it to dry in front of a fan. Once you've thoroughly checked your exposed screen for any errors and fixed those with tape or red coat blockout, now you're ready to begin printing. First, you need to set up the press with the screen on it. Once you've put the screen into the press, you must adjust it so it is level and at the right height. You don't want your screen resting directly on the shirt you are printing onto. Instead, you want the screen raised about 1/8 of an inch above the shirt you're going to be printing on. Use the off-contact adjustments on your press to achieve this. Today we're printing a one-color design. Apply spray adhesive to the platen and place your shirt, centered, onto the platen. Keep in mind that as you're setting up your job, testing prints using paper or an old shirt are always essential before you start production printing your shirts in order to get the best prints possible. Apply a good amount of ink to the base of the screen, just below your image. Proper squeegee technique is important to remember in order to get the best prints possible. First, flood your screen by moving the ink across the screen. Next, place your squeegee at an 80-degree angle and press firmly down onto the screen so the majority of your pressure is pressing down onto the screen, and then pull towards yourself. With proper technique, you will have very little ink left behind the squeegee as it moves across the shirt. Now you're ready to dry. If you're needing to do more than one coat or have a print that is more than one color, you will often need to flash cure the ink. You can use a heat gun or flash dryer for this process. Once the ink is dry to the touch, you can apply your second coat or other color. When you're finished printing onto your shirt, you need to do a final cure of the shirt so the ink is completely dry for long-term use. Again, you can use a flash dryer or conveyor dryer for much quicker, more efficient drying. Once a final cure is done correctly, the shirt is ready for wearing and will last a very long time. Remember, this was just a brief overview of the screen printing process, and for more information, check out www.silkscreening-supplies.com for a more in-depth look at the screen printing process, instructional DVDs and books we have for sale, and of course, all the supplies you need to start screen printing today.